the Oscherleben for round 2 of our GT5 Ginetta Cup. Currently watching Pro Hero here, one of the members of the pro team, lately taken motive racing by storm, and good to have him out on track this evening in wet conditions. As I say, this is going to be an exceptionally challenging evening for these tier 2 guys and the tier 1 guys coming up at 8 o'clock. But first off, you join us for this one, and I'm joined in the commentary box by a new addition to our team here at Motive, and his name is Ravenous. Ravenous, welcome to the commentary box.
Hi, thank you very much, Andy. It's a pleasure to be here. Wet race. Let's see how it's going to fall out.
Pleasure to have you with us. It should be an exciting one. We've seen a lot of these guys doing lots and lots of practice over the course of this week, so again, it's a case of just keeping your nerves under pressure. All of the practice can be undone by simple little mistakes, so let's hope that these guys have the confidence and the faith in these cars, but don't get too complacent this evening.
Yes. I'm also looking at Gypsy. Yes, there's something to prove here.
Definitely had a...
But very much, he's going to do it very well.
Well, he's, as you say, got something to prove. He had a... Gypsy George had a torrid race on Monday in the GTE Championship, so he'll be looking to respond as we see Pro Hero absolutely nailing the first corner. Not easy to do in these conditions, but yeah, he'll be looking to bounce back in the best possible way. It was a horrible evening for him. Finished almost a lap down. I'm not sure if he was actually lapped by the guys up front. I know that Harris and Bruce AFC were going at a blistering pace in Tier 2 on Monday for the GTEs. But it's going to be fascinating to see how this one pans out. Current provisional pole sitter is Pro Hero on a 1 minute 45.4, with Apex Rider not very far behind. So the field up front looking very, very close for this session. Oh, somebody hits the wall in the background there in a black Ginetta. We didn't quite catch who that was, but they're looking very, very tail happy indeed. But we're sticking with Apex Rider here. See if he can get a lap time that will put himself up onto the top of the pecking order. It's currently sat on provisionally on the front row, although having said that, this is the practice session, ladies and gentlemen, so this is just all for pride at the moment. It's a practice in the wet conditions. Qualifying will be taking place in light rain, and then the race will be in dry conditions. Ravenous, we're just hearing some comments from our on-stream audience here saying that your mic is a little bit quiet, and are you able to turn it up a few notches if possible?
Okay, perfect. I'm going to do that right away.
Brilliant stuff, mate. In the meantime, we see Apex Rider negotiating some traffic, making his way past, coming down this long back straight up towards this right hand corner, and you see he's nailing it absolutely perfectly. Not shy to use the curbs either, which in this sort of weather is absolutely extremely brave. Into the second to last, into the second to last corner, and avoiding the puddles on the inside.
Last corner. Great speed.
Oh, it's 1.3 seconds off. Rags is our Australian driver, standing in tonight for our Tier 2, a couple of spaces, so we got him in. Great to have him out on track. Raced in Motive Racing's first ever Ginetta race, first ever race, period. So he has been with this since the start, intermittently it must be said, but he has been involved from the very beginning. Currently sat P4 in this session, just over 2 seconds off the pace, coming down this back straight now. Welcome to everybody live on the YouTube channel. It's going to get those comments up and check out what you guys are saying live on the stream in a moment. Oh yeah, Rag's almost collecting somebody there. Living dangerously. Apparently your mic's still a little bit quiet, buddy. I'm not sure whether it's full volume. Apparently it's just a little bit. Let me see if I can have a look at this, see if I can do anything. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just practice. We're just about to start our qualifying session for Tier 2 in a few moments' time. Let's have a look at my settings, see if I can do anything.
Nice.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, this
Should be okay.
yeah, we should have it sorted. I've just changed my audio mix so that it's favoured towards party rather than game,
Yeah.
so we should be good.
Yeah, that's out of the
Guys, let us know, keep us posted on how the audio is doing here live on the Motive Racing channel. In the meantime, let's have a look to see what's happened in free practice. We've got Apex Rider spinning round there, trying to go even faster and put himself on the top spot. Has he managed to get himself on the top? He hasn't, so still a tenth shy. It would be a pretty magnificent achievement to go faster in these wetting conditions here. But what do you make of what we were seeing so far here, Ravenous? Lots of quick guys.
Yeah, I'm finding it very quick, very brave how people drive off the curbs, man. It's terrific. It's awesome to see some pros on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing MP Motorsport here, all over the place, coming through the second to last turn. It looks like he was half committed to bringing it into the pits there and changed his mind at the last second. MP Motorsport joined Motive Racing just this week, joined a racing lobby that we were in the other day, and decided that it was definitely his type of thing. We got him on board, got him onto our Discord server, and that, guys, is the entry point for anyone who wishes to join us here at Motive. Go to our Discord. The link will be in the comment section, in the live comment section, in about 20 seconds time. Let me just grab that and pop that in there. So if anybody has a PS4 and project cars too, be sure to jump on that and have a look, see what we're about, see what we got on offer here. So that's Pro Hero at the top of the timing sheets, ahead of Apex Rider, Swiss Tony and Rags, third and fourth. We're about to get qualifying underway. 10-minute qualifying session to proceed our tier 2 race here. And currently watching Pro Badger, our regular commentator for the tier 1 at Motive Racing. As we see here, coming out of the pit lane now to embark on a qualifying session. Pro Badger we raced in the Clios in the wet on Tuesday night. That was at Sugo, and did a great job up until the last few laps. Actually, it was very wet conditions. The rain was getting heavier and heavier, and he tried to stay out on the dry tyres until the end of the race, and unfortunately was in a podium spot until the last couple of laps, but unfortunately it all went horribly wrong. Had a couple of spins. I believe I may have mentioned on the stream that he was a danger to himself, but having said that, it can't be understated how much of an impressive job he was doing, keeping out on those dry tyres in those sort of conditions. It's never easy to keep the car stable and keep you cool in that sort of situation, so well done to him. And I must say, I do take back some of the comments made that evening. But here he is, currently coming round towards the chicane, and takes one of the bollards with him. So that one lasted about 1 minute and 22 seconds. So that bollard lasting 1 minute and 22 seconds into the qualifying session. That's not the quickest time that the bollards have been wiped out here at Motive, but certainly up there. Now into the final sector, the second chicane. Let's see if he can nail it. Looks very good. Oh no, he just gets a little bit loose on the curb. Here he goes though, still on his way, and hopefully he wouldn't get a invalid next lap time, but the next lap invalidated rule can be uncompromising here at Oscherleben, as we see him coming out of the last turn now to begin his first flying lap. But we just don't know. It's so difficult to keep yourself within the track limits in that last sector there. It's very easy to get the next lap invalidated. Even if you're nowhere near the end of the lap, it can be very unfair indeed. But Pro Badger here doing a good job. New addition to the pro team as well. Pure Racing opposition here at Motive Racing. Your boys, remember? Run by Prophobia, of course, running in tier 1 in the next race, or also co-run by Pro Alpha as well. Big shout out to those guys. Be racing in tier 1. Done lots of practice for this race, as have the entire pro team. Obviously, being a member, I was privy to a few of those sessions, the practice sessions. We've really been knuckling down to try and get the best we can. But anyway, enough about that. It's all about these guys on track in Tier 2 at the moment. Pro Badger brings it in, knocks down another bollard for good measure, but looks to be on a pretty good lap so far, Ravenous.
Yes, he's going fast. Not making big errors, slightly.
Yep, it's been pretty solid so far.
I hope the...
Oh.
This is what I thought about the bottles. This is going to be a headache, man.
Yeah, he's in a very precarious position there as guys have to swerve out of the way. Staying stationary whilst the other guys made their way past.
Check up 1-0.
Bowie there, saying in the comments, I like how I'm still a mod in this chat. Good point.
This is very good.
Honey Badger saying, Raven must have required. We sorted that one out, Honey Badger. We're just hearing Evan Hayes chiming in on the chat as well. Corey Smith says, hello lads, looking forward to the domination tonight. Also says hello to Alpha. And James Dudley saying hello, welcome along to the stream, James Dudley. We've also got Honey Badger saying, drop a like guys, show some support. Definitely do that, very recommended. We've got J Palm here saying, hi everyone, is this heavy rain? Well actually, J Palm, it's meant to be light rain, but the light rain does appear to be coming to a close a little bit and the track drying out now, so the track should get quicker as this session goes on from here on in. It does look like there are still a couple of raindrops in the air, but it is petering out a little bit as we're riding with Pro Hero, fastest in final practice, and we've seen somebody go off. Oh,
Last corner he misses. Time is...
Bowie there saying I won't take advantage for it.
And he takes the professional pole position.
Brilliant lap time there from Pro Hero. We saw he had the talent and the potential in the final practice session.
That's correct.
Look at those puddles though. Turn 1 and 2, that is treacherous.
Yeah, that's very dangerous. This is very dangerous.
And staying off those curves on the inside, staying within the white lines. Bowie saying, rumours are these cars don't have rain tyres. Is that true? It is indeed. They have all weather tyres. That is about it.
As we can see that the track is drying up. The track is going a bit faster.
A little bit. Times are starting to come down. Pro Hero though, class of the field. As I say that, Gypsy George does a lap time within 0.4 of a second of him. So on a 1:49.3, nice lap there from Gypsy George. We're seeing some good times coming in here. Pro Hero, a very disciplined qualifying session so far. As let's have a look and see who's in P3. We've got a member of Pro in P3. It's Pro Badger.
That's the Badger. Yes. Very good.
0.7 of a second off pole at the moment.
There goes the Nathan Rutter. Takes
Wow.
the position.
And Rags.
Swing time.
And Rags follows him through as well on into second place. So this track definitely improving as we come into the later stages of this qualifying session here for Tier 2. Guys, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button just below the video. No, Bowie, I'm commentating with Ravenous. Can you... have we got an audio on Ravenous? Can we hear him on the stream?
Am I hearable?
Can we hear Ravenous? Hold on 1 second. Bowie, can you just be our tester man for a moment, please, mate? If you wouldn't mind, we can just get this one sorted out. Right. If you can let me know. Can we hear Bowie now? I mean, can we hear Ravenous at the moment, Bowie? What about now? Is it better or worse?
Yeah. Microphone is set up high. So
Can we hear... How can we hear Ravenous now?
As you can see, Nathan he's going too wide and crashes into the wall face front.
Oh, very unfortunate.
This is very unfortunate. So he goes to the pit for damage repairs. Let's check with Apex Rider as he is exiting the pit.
Right guys, I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit, so guys watching on the stream, in order to hear the volume, turn your volume a little bit up on what it would usually be. I'm just going to turn my volume down so that we're a bit more in sync.
As Rex put up a no fast lap, my god, 1:45.6. This is good.
Yeah, fantastic lap time here. As these times come down the track, ever improving, but still those puddles, the standing water on the inside of turn 2 must be such a difficult proposition for these guys.
Yeah.
Ravenous, have you got audio sharing turned on? If you wanna, I'll walk you through it. Basically, go to party settings, and then it's the 5th panel on the right in party,
Hold on. Oh, yeah.
and then the bottom, 2 from the bottom, always allow, or whatever it is on yours. So you
Yes.
wanna have it ticked? Is it ticked?
Everything is ticked now. Audio sharing, everything is ticked.
Okay, buddy, that's cool. Let us know, guys, on the stream whether or not we can hear Ravenous now. We should be able to. Should have that all fixed.
So drift and he almost crashes into the wall, but stays on track. So no damage done there. He goes to the pit.
In the meantime, Gypsy George.
Gypsy's doing. Gypsy George, look at it. Told you he's going to put it up, and he's doing it.
Very impressive. 300ths of a second to the better of Rags. I'm sure Rags would have wanted to respond had he not spun the car coming through there. As we see Gypsy George getting a little bit wide on the gravel. We've also got Pro Badger out there at the moment. Pro Hero is sat a little bit. Is sat in 3rd, I think, at now. He comes over the line. What can Pro Hero do? He can't improve. Stays 3rd for the time being. We've got Badger, I believe, in 8th position by the looks of it. Swiss Tony moving up to 6th place in the dying embers of the session. We've got just Apex Rider, DJ Phil, and MP Motorsport out on the track now. Let's see if any of these guys can upset the odds.
Pro Hero on the field. He is blazing as we see.
Yeah, very, very impressive here at the moment, but he's got to keep his composure. Only half a second off of pole position, sat in P3. And on the improving track, he will have a bit of an advantage here as he comes into the chicane. It's bone dry through the chicane now. He can take that absolutely on the limit as Pro Hero now brings it into the final sector. What's it going to be as he embarks on this long back straight here out of the Oscherleben in the dying seconds here of this qualifying session? Gypsy George currently sat on pole position. We've got Rags lining up on the front row alongside him provisionally as it stands. 300ths of a second separating these guys. Pro Hero now drives straight through a puddle as he absolutely wrestles the car here coming into the final couple of corners of this lap. Penultimate corner, can he nail it? A little bit of a slide on the middle of the corner, not his fault. It's a massive, massive puddle, and into the last turn. MP Motorsport puts it on pole position by 7/10 of a second. What can Pro Hero do here? Out of the last turn and up over the line. Apex Rider goes fastest. And Pro Hero comes over the line. Ooh, that was a tight qualifying session. He goes 2nd there at the end. So that was just a load of times coming in right at the very end there as the track improved. These guys got the hammer down. What a session there, Ravenous. Apex Rider taking it.
This one was a good one, man. I saw Apex Rider just took the pole position with a blistering time of 1:43.9, man. On the line.
Yeah, this is nothing at all between these guys. I'm just going to have a quick another look at the settings for the for this because it doesn't seem to be. Let's have a look.
Okay. Yeah,
we should be able to hear you now, buddy.
Yes. My colleague also told me he can hear me very quietly.
Okay, well that's better than nothing. Better than nothing.
Yes. Okay, so we got Apex Rider here on pole position, next to Pro Badger. Man, this is Pro Hero. I think this is a very tense start, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
On the fourth position, and MP Motorsport.
But Apex Rider there doing what he had to do right at the very end of the session. It's great to see him getting that hour down when it was needed, and as the track dried out, it was the times were coming down so much. There were a few guys who actually neglected to stay out there and carry on setting lap times, like Pro Badger for example, stayed in the pits, thought he had enough in the tank, but he ended up getting undone. Nathan Rutter, also a victim of complacency here in our Tier 2 qualifying session. We've got Corey Smith saying, I've been doing a fast time, can't wait to show you all. He'll be coming up in Tier 1. That is Pro Smithy there in the comments. We've got the Pro the Only G as well, saying it seems very, very close. Honey Badger, otherwise known as Pro Badger, mentioning there that great stuff from George being up in P4 in this session. We've got Bowie saying, was it with or without cutting the track to Smithy? So Bowie there.
Still focusing on Gypsy George because he is going to. I think he's my favorite to win. That's what I think.
You heard it for your first. Ravenous is putting his money on George to take the win, to take the W here in Tier 2, and we're almost about to go lights out here at the Oscherleben. And we are underway. It looks like an amazing start from a black red car in the background. Don't know if he jumped the start, but it looks like we've got Pro out fantastically here. Pro Hero makes a fantastic start up into the lead. Apex Rider got a little bit bogged down off the line. We've got Gypsy George already up into third place ahead of MPM Motorsport. Looks like Evan's made an amazing start, but Evan goes a little bit straight on at the first corner. Evan looks like he took out Pro Hero there. Not sure what was going on there, but he does wait for him. Very sportsmanlike from Evan to wait for him and give the position back. But that was not what the doctor ordered at the first corner, Ravenous.
Sportsmanlike, but what they did was very good. Apex Rider.
Oh, yeah, lots of action. Seems to all be going wrong here on this opening lap. Pro Badger, though, has made a fantastic start. He's up into, is that third position already?
Yes.
It is. 1.6 seconds ahead of these guys, so he lost the lead on the at the start of the race off the line, but unfortunately for Pro Hero he did get punted off at turn 1. Evan misjudging his braking point. It's easily done on the first lap with cold tyres. It's just part and parcel of racing, and he did wait to get the position back, so kudos to Evan for that one. We have got a battle here between a white, green and blue Ginetta up ahead of Pro Piston. That looks like it might be Smoky Devil, Swiss Tony and Nathan Rutter here battling it out, and it looks like it is Pro... I'm sorry, that's Swiss Tony. They're coming out on top in that one, and we've got somebody into the pits already. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a mandatory pit stop. You've got to change at least 2 tyres when you come in, so let's keep an eye on these guys and make sure that they are changing their tyres in the pit box. Oh no!
God, that is a total destruction.
That was horrible.
That was a horrible crash. I don't know how he's going to.
Was that Pro Piston there that spun out? I'm not sure.
That was Badger. Piston got the new tires, so he is going to make a
So Badger, there, our regular commentator, is going to be commentating in Tier 1 tonight. Unfortunately, having a bit of a moment there and taking his teammate with him, Pro Hero. But he is making good progress. Corey Smith in the comments saying his damage on it is not on Corey, so it's just visual damage in Tier 2. Tier 1 has full spec, exactly as you would see in a real race, but for Tier 2 we're leaving that off. It just gives these guys, the new guys to the league, an opportunity to find their feet in these Ginettas, and then if they get promotion into the big boy league, then that's when they've got to raise their game and start being more aware I mean, obviously the idea is to be more aware to begin with, but Tier 1 kind of forces your hand in that particular scenario. Bowie says, from what I can see, no, flipped a car, lost all aero, and still on good pace. Yep, as Bowie says there, basically alluding to the visual damage model that we have.
As Apex and Rex are fighting for the first and second position.
Yeah, Apex Rider doing a great job out the front. Our pole sitter showing what he can do here in the opening couple of laps. Rag's doing 1:39 a lap at the moment, a high 1 minute 39. That is pretty good. He does have a little bit of slipstream from the car in front. About half a second separating these boys. We're on lap 3 of this one. Very, very good driving here from Apex Rider.
Goes a bit wide and loses momentum and has a small gap. As Hero on the third position, 4 seconds behind number 2. Is he going to gain that?
Last lap around he was actually slower than the front two, so it looks like he's losing a little bit of time here. It is Pro Hero. Bowie saying in the comments it looks very realistic. Slightly sarcastic comment there from Bowie. As we are. Oh, he's dropped a second to our race leader there, Ravenous.
600th of a second.
Ooh. Rags here for some reason seems to be struggling in that turbulent air. It's not easy to follow people, although these Ginettas are probably some of the best for close racing here on Project Cars 2, but it very, very accurately and realistically recreates the simulation of dirty air behind the car in front in most of these classes. As we see Oliver Marseille saying, running away from a problem, are we? Not exactly sure what you are alluding to there, Mr. Oliver. If you would like to yeah, if you'd like to try and explain that point, it would be very much appreciated. In the meantime though, Rags sticking to the back of Apex Rider, just keeping the gap at around a second.
As we can see, Pro is gaining a lot on the fourth position, as we see a 5-second gap, number 3 and number 4.
Yeah, he is keeping that gap now. We're starting to respond to these guys, and Pro Hero, I'm sure, will be hoping that these two at the front start fighting it out and tripping over each other, because if they do, that lends him a way in.
As you speak about that, he is slipping away.
Ooh. Yeah, Rags there, almost pulling up onto the back of Apex Rider there, but making a small mistake. We're just having a look back through the pack. It looks like we've got most of the guys pretty strung out at the moment, actually. No real battles. I did see Evan and Smokey did appear to be looking quite close on the timing board a few moments ago, but now it looks like Evan's fallen off the back, so maybe a mistake from our Irishman. As we see here, Smokey over the line, Evan now follows him over. A little bit slower on that lap time, so that does look like that's probably the case. Smokey Devil looks like he's closing on Swiss Tony though.
Swiss Tony is giving everything he's got. Will it be enough for taking on Pro?
But at this stage in the race, it does look like Pro Hero is starting to respond to the pace from these guys up front, because last time around he actually matched our race leader, but it's not going to be enough. He has got 4 seconds to make up, so just matching him in lap time is not going to get him the win or even second place here. He does need to be going considerably faster than these guys. It needs to be lapping around a second a lap or half a second a lap faster than these guys. If he wants to win this race, he'll be obviously banking on these guys making a mistake, but it looks like Apex Riders pulled out a 2.3 second gap to Rags. Rags has dropped off a little bit, maybe mistakes starting to come into play, which will favour Apex Rider as this race goes on.
Perfect. No errors.
Yeah, fastest man of all them. Ropo is pro hero last time around.
He's gaining very fast on Rex. Gaining. As you can see, his lap time is
Yeah, 141. 141 from Rags, 139 for Pro Hero. 2 seconds faster than that last time around. There's 2 seconds to separate these guys on the track. So maybe this time next lap we'll be expecting Pro Hero to pull onto the back of him. Looks like these guys have already got traffic up ahead of him. Looks like it might be MP Motorsport up front. So he's going to have to be wary. Oh, we see a spin there from MP Motorsport, is it? It must be MPM. Number 12. Number 12 there. Getting way out of shape and moving off to the side to allow these guys to get through. Gets it going once again. So MP Motorsport having a turbulent debut here at Motive Racing. We were racing with him the other night. He joined our league through an online lobby. And he seemed well up for this, but it's not gone to plan at all so far, which is very unfortunate to see. A lap down here, a few laps in, and we're seeing Pro Piston here in the pit lane, changing his tyres. Looks like a lengthy pit stop here, and he is away. And good to see all these guys complying with the rules and making sure they do those tyre changes. RDJ making a very inappropriate comment in the comments section. Here at Motive Racing, we do not condone the use of illegal substances. Oh yeah, Pro Badger all over the face.
going to do. I put my money on him, and still it's a bit more than 14 minutes to go. Do you think Gypsy George is going to take the win? I don't think so, but still, never give up.
This is the man you had your money on to begin with. 29 seconds off the pace. Not sure if he's been in for his mandatory pit stop though. That could be. He could be into play if he actually has been in, because 29 seconds off the pace, a pit stop has got to be around 30 seconds. We'll have to have a look back through the stream. In fact, I'm going to look through now and see if George has been in, because if he has, then he will have a good chance here in this race. Certainly.
And we are going to follow Pro Hero again with the fight he's going to bring that Rex. I think at the end of the next lap he's going to overtake Rex. If I am correct, I don't know. Have to wait and see.
Yep, just checking on the stream, and George has not been in for his mandatory pit stop in this race.
Ooh.
Still yet to make his stop.
Too bad, who is one wide? Oh, no. Not into the way, but they managed alright.
Yeah, good job from these guys.
He's going up off the move and no! He crashes into the wall! He crashes into the wall!
Oh yeah, Pro Hero having a horrible moment there, and it looks like he's lost lots and lots of time. He was gaining on the top two, but he now finds himself 8 seconds behind. He's got some traffic here in front of him, which does move out of the way. That looks like his quiet man there.
My god. Too bad. Still got 12 minutes of racing here. Oscherleben. The mid-pack is going, as we see Gypsy George is going for his tires and mandatory stop.
Pit stop in hand, possibly. 26 seconds, it's doable. He might be able to get himself in the top 4, maybe. 30-second pit stop. Swiss Tony and Nathan Rutter. As we see here, it looks like Rags has brought it into the pit lane for his stop. Just keep an eye. Make sure that he does the tyre changes. We see Pro Hero coming over the line. We've got Apex Rider assuming the race of the lead of the race of the lead.
9 seconds ahead of Pro, so let's see what will happen as Rex is going for his stop. Let's check on which position he comes off back on the track.
You've got to do. You've got to stop in the box for about 7 or 8 seconds in order to change tyres here on Project Cars 2, and it looks like Rags is doing so. In fact, it looks like he's changing all 4 tyres. So going for extra grip, opting for extra grip here in the later stages of the race. RDJ, we do not condone the promotion of one's illegal businesses here at Motive Racing.
And as Rex joins the track on the 7th position, no 8th position, but he did the mandatory pit stop, so that is good.
Excellent stuff there from Rags. Merges in what looks to be 8th place. He's come out behind Nathan, as well as Badger and DJ Phil. Or is that Piston? It might be Piston actually. Running. No, it is Badger. Running in P6. So Rags there with a horrible pit stop.
Yeah, pit stop, I think, a bit too long. You can see Pro Hero is taking his pit stop now. And we have to wait and see where Rex is going to join the track.
At this point in the race, I can't see anybody taking the win other than Apex Rider. It just looks like he has got far superior pace. Oh, as we see, that is Pro. No, it's Evan there. Evan getting way out of shape, coming through the chicane. Was that Evan? Or no, it might be the lapped car actually. No, it was. No, it was Evan. It was Evan. George, in the meantime, having a horrible race after a promising qualifying session, down in 9th place. Was tipped by you, Raven, to take the win, but it's not worked out, unfortunately.
That's no worries. I will talk to him after the race. What will happen?
Let's hope you go easy.
As we still moving on with Apex Rider, he has a huge gap, almost 20 seconds. Would it be good for making his mandatory pit stop?
Let's hope so.
He's going for his pit stop now.
Leaving it until late. We're into the final third here of this Tier 2 race.
Stony coming up. Final sector.
See if he's going to opt to take a brief race. No, he's not. Bring it in.
Also taking his pit stop. That's good. As we can see, Smoky Devil, he is going to take the lead, as I expect.
Unless Apex comes out.
Yeah, no. We got this.
And does his personal best lap of the race to boot as well. So Smoky Devil here getting some airtime here on Motive Racing's YouTube channel. Comes into turn 1, a little bit of curve on the inside, not too much, very sensible, and gets a nice exit as well. Smoky Devil is our Scottish driver and races in all of our midweek leagues, GTEs, our Clios, and our Ginetta Championship. Doesn't race in our weekend leagues, which are the GT3s, the LMP2s, and the USA Series. As we see here, Nathan Rutter running in P2 at the moment, 20 seconds off of our leader.
As I can remember, Nathan did his mandatory pit stop, is that correct?
Nathan has been in for his mandatory pit stop, so as it happens, provisional race lead for Nathan Rutter. Net race lead.
Correct.
Apex Rider's going to be charging after him, 4 seconds behind though. Yeah, they should still come into play. The tyre wear, tyre fuel depletion is still turned on, so it will make a difference at this point. But maybe that's the kind of thing that works for him. I know lots of guys who can drive cars with cold tyres, and some prefer it, feeling like the car is on the edge of what it can do. So it's all about preference, all about personal preference. Gap 4.5 seconds between the two net first and the second at the moment. Smoky Devil still yet to come in for his mandatory pit stop. That is the state of play, ladies and gentlemen. Our race leader, Smoky Devil, still needing to come in to change his tyres. When he does, that will release Nathan Rutter and Apex Rider into first and second. By the looks of it, Swiss Tony will be in a podium spot. Last week's winner on the track disqualified from the final results due to not making his mandatory pit stop. Good to see the pro team on the podium. As he moves up, it will be on the podium once Smoky Devil comes in for his stop. Good stuff there. Within 10 seconds now of Apex Rider, but it looks like that gap a little bit too much to reel in the later stages of this race. Still Smoky Devil yet to make his stop. We've got Rags running in 6th place at the moment. Had a horrible pit stop. Did Rags, was running up at the front, but was dicing with Apex Rider, but he's lost 20 seconds on his rival here in this race. It's gone horribly, horribly wrong. It really, really has been a disaster for our Australian stand-in tonight.
He's charging toward Pro.
2 seconds between these boys at the moment. Pro Hero obviously has made the move and is pulling out that gap as we see Swiss Tony getting a little bit wide there, keeping it within the white lines. Been a good running from Swiss Tony this week. He took the victory on the track last week at Brands Hatch, but failed to observe the mandatory pit stop rule, which is set out here for the Ginetta Championship at Motive Racing. Obviously, it's not in the room settings due to the time race. Yeah, here he comes. Nathan Rutter flashes the lights as he comes over the line. He's listening to the stream. He's got the stream up here. Good to see him.
Perfect, Nathan. And we have 3 minutes of racing left, guys. We can see Apex Rider 5 seconds behind Nathan. Pit stop. You can see Pro Hero on the 3rd spot. There's only 4th with a 3-second gap. I don't think it's going to take it over. So, Pro.
It's all down to you, Pro. We see Nathan Rutter here, given the lead of this race, was working away in the early laps, made an early pit stop, and we didn't really follow his progress because he sort of got into the race out of the spotlight and just did what he had to do, got his head down, got on with it, and has got himself the rewards. He's got a 5-second lead as we approach the final 3 minutes of this session. Apex Rider running just down the road. Looks like Nathan should have the win here, barring any kind of major catastrophes in the final part of this race. Guys, thank you very much for joining us here live on the Motive Racing channel. If you're interested in getting involved here at Motive Racing, then go to the comment section on the right hand side and click that link. That link will take you straight to our Discord channel. Involved in the racing that you see right before your very eyes. Become one of these boys out on the track. As we see Nathan Rutter here coming around the last turn. He's got 2 laps left to go here in this session. Ravenous.
Yes, this was one of the fun race because we can see my guy George back.
Oh.
Back on the 9th position, but I saw you in the practice. It's pretty good. You can see Apex Rider on the 2nd position. No errors made yet. The final half of the race. You can see Pro Hero still blazing from the start off. Too bad for the accident earlier on, but things happen and nice recovery. Yeah, while the accident happened.
Yeah, definitely.
Racing. Yeah, he took on Swiss Tony and already got a 7-second gap.
Yeah, Rags.
Most badly for Rex. I do not know what happened within the pit stop, but in my opinion, it took too long.
Maybe he had the engine damage a little bit too high, and obviously if you set engine damage to repairs, in order to get the faster pit stop on project cars, you can find yourself unstuck. What with the damage occurring very very quickly, and you can't open the radiators in these Ginetta GT5s, which means that you've got really no way of controlling the amount of damage that you accumulate as the race wears on. So Rag's just unfortunate there. Maybe got caught out by that little what's the word? So that little catch
That doesn't matter, as there are 30 seconds left. We see Nathan Rudder here on the first position, Apex Rider on the second, and as the third we got Pro Hero 91. Bad for Swiss Tony, and especially for Rex, man. Sorry, man, Rex. It was very, very, very sad to see you fall off.
It's gutting, absolutely gutting.
I could feel that, man, in my own heart. I'm telling you, fam. I felt it in my heart.
I know, mate, I feel it as well. When you're stuck in that pit box and you're not moving, the team are taking forever to get you out of there. It's one of the most gut-wrenching feelings. You can see the race slipping away from you, and you know it's getting away from you, but there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You just got to sit there, wait, and just bear it out. That's the only way to get through it. As we're riding here with our race leader, Nathan Rutter, coming into the final half a lap here of our Tier 2 race for round 2 of our GT5 Ginetta Championship here at Motive Racing at the Oscherleben. And he's driven perfectly tonight. Was a little bit out of the spotlight, managed to do an early pit stop, and got the hammer down, put some ridiculously fast lap times in, which pushed him right up the order and into first place. He's got a 6-second lead as he rounds the final corner. Raven Meister, what a race from this man.
Yes. Very good, Nathan. Very good, very good. I love the shade of green. Green is my color. I should have sticking with this guy in the beginning when I saw the practice. I should have stick with Nathan, but I went eventually for George. So congratulations, Nathan. Apex Rider, second place, and Pro Hero 91 on the third. This was hell of a race. I saw the move he made to Swiss Tony to get back to the third position. And man, this was one hell of a race.
Yeah, good stuff here.
Every single bit of it. Only too bad for my guy George.
Very unfortunate. Down in P8 in this session, but Rags as well just had a horribly unlucky race.
Oh my God, Rex. I could tell you, man, it was very heartbreaking. I can tell you at least, man. If I were you, talk to your engineers, because this is going to be a problem in the near future.
In the meantime, though, we've got Pro Badger, our regular commentator here, finishing in 6th position. Evan looks like he's retired. He's got another race to get to in a few moments' time.
Oh, the crash that Badger got, man, that was horrible. I have never, ever seen a crash in project cars like this, man. I'm telling you.
But the way he was able to recover from that was incredible.
Very, on taking the 6th position, man. This is very good, man.
Very impressive indeed. So that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Rutter taking the victory with Apex Rider and Pro Hero rounding off the podium. We got Swiss Tony and Rags, Pro Badger, Gypsy George and Smoky Devil with DJ Phil and Emo Guy completing the top 10. And then we have Pro Piston and MP Motorsport 11th and 12th. What a race, guys. Thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box, Raven Meister. Good to have you with us here.
Yes, thank you very much. It was my pleasure. To the next one, I think.
To the next one. Honey Badger will be taking away tier 1 in a few moments' time. I don't know if you're going to be joining him in the box. I imagine he's more than willing for you to jump in if you want to stay with him for tonight, or it's up to you. If you want to stay with us on the channel, you're more than welcome.
Yes, I would like to stay and get some more experience and some more in-depth look. I would love it, yes.
Great stuff. Great stuff. We'll get you in the commentary box for that one then. Guys, on stream, stay with us very, very shortly. We'll be live on a separate stream from this one because our man Pro Badger will be hosting that one. See you guys very, very shortly for Tier 1. Thank you very much.